Hello, buddy. Welcome back to another episode of Blood Airline. So we are playing more Final Fantasy 14. Last episode. Who even knows what I did last episode? No, I think that this is just gonna be after the Fisher quest. I've been having a time maneuvering myself through all these quests, which is really weird. Well, it's just because I'm lazy. Anyway, let's go and do the Carpenter quest line, or at least as much as I possibly can. Oof. I had a voice for all these characters, but I do not remember. Ah, Lydon, the very Carpenter I thought to call upon. He had a slightly deeper voice. One of our new recruits seems dispirited of late. Though I have approached her on several occasions, she is reluctant to share her troubles with me. Mayhap you can try talking to her? She is like to be far more receptive to a brave and amenable woman such as yourself. Semi is her name. You can find her out front treating cheddar logs. I'm also going to be playing more with zooming in and out that I haven't been doing before. Good gods, you're Lyn, famed adventurer and Beaton's most promising disciple. What are you doing here? Ah, yes, that. It's nothing I can speak to most of the guild members about, much less Timbermaster Beaton. You see, our guild, it's in peril. Our sales continue to plummet, and if this downward trend is to continue, I know not what will become of us. What concerns me more than that, however, is the toll this has been taken on the Timbermaster. He's been working tirelessly and refuses to stop to even eat or drink. It's almost as though he's attempting to make up for everything at the expense of his own health. If this continues, I'm afraid he won't have the strength to grip a saw, much less restore the Carpenter's Guild to its former glory. But not all yet is lost. I may have found a solution. If you were to speak with some of the locals to learn what kind of furniture designs are currently in demand, we can alter our products to fit their tastes and improve our sales. It is, however, a rather monumental task for someone to take on alone. Doubly so for an experienced carpenter like me. Lyn, please, will you help me? Yes. Ah, thank you so very much. Now then, let's begin by interviewing potential customers of the Carline Canopy. Carline Canopy. I feel like I should have done this a lot sooner. Just kind of zoom in a little bit more to keep it more immersive. I mean, I would only really do this for doing quests and not at all for doing content. What sort of furniture have I been buying? Lately I've been purchasing a lot of Far Eastern style items. After all, that's what's popular nowadays. I recently finished building a house in lavender beds and have been furnishing it with Dominan-themed furniture. The bold yet delicate patterns prevalent in much of their work greatly resonates with me. Where's this other person? Don't... Ah, there you go. Okay. I didn't see an arrow down, so I wasn't sure how... Is this low enough to the point that the game would do that? Furniture. Must say that the Hingun furnishings trickling in from the Far East have struck a chord with me. People are often far too eager to forsake their own heritage in exchange for keeping up with the latest fads. I, on the other hand, take great comfort in knowing my furniture embodies generation upon generation of tradition. How is it that the furniture from the Far East here has so far... Well, I can't read and speak. I specifically speak for some reason. I have issues. It's really weird today. Has so far surpassed the popularity of our local products. Gridania is home to carpenters whose skill is unmatched. Or at least so I thought. At this rate, our guild will fall into obscurity. We must convince Timbermaster Beaton to immediately begin producing Far Eastern style furniture if we are to have any chance of surviving. Had I more clout with him, I wouldn't hesitate to march in there and tell him as much, but as it stands, I'm afraid he won't take what I have to say seriously. If you, his star pupil, were to accompany me, however, my words will hold far more sway. You'll come with me then? Fantastic. Let us go and pitch my idea to the Timbermaster then. I like how sometimes I say something and then like for a second I'm thinking like, should I reread that? And then I'm like, nope, and I just keep reading. And there's like an awkward second of just me not making any noise in the middle of a sentence. That's what just happened. Each day we're learning something new. I think I may be just struggling more with my allergy, it seems. I suppose a natural freak? That's a name. I suppose the two of you are here because there is something you would like to discuss. Very well, have at it. Sir, as you might already be aware, Far Eastern furnishings have recently been flooding the market, with men and women all across Gridania, Eorzea even, only too eager to buy them. You are at a great risk of falling behind. I believe, however, if you were to get ahead of this trend and begin manufacturing products of Oriental design, we can convince more customers to purchase from us and improve the status of our guild. Oh, and you think producing crude imitations will suffice? I will not have it said that we compromise on quality. If you are truly committed to this proposal, I will support you, provided you accept one condition. You are to travel to Kagane. There you will immerse yourself in their rich history and culture, both of which have given shape to their craft. Developing a greater understanding of these things will allow you to produce items of a similar caliber to those found in that very region. That's it? That's the condition? Of course, I'd be delighted to go there. In fact, I shall make ready to depart post-haste. Wish me luck. I shall send you a letter once I arrive. I wonder if she truly understands the purpose of my sending her there. At the very least, she seems to have overcome her despair. I suspect I have you to thank for that, then. Well then, I suppose all that's left for us to do now is await her letter. As I level up, because the XP I get from this is actually worth it. What the heck is this? Slightly increases chances of material condition becoming good. What? Wait. Is that a new thing? I feel like that is a new thing. I don't remember seeing this before. That's interesting. ff14 is wild for me right now. Everything is weird and different. Then I've received word from Semi. I'm just gonna say Semi. She has made it safely to Kagane. Or rather, that is what I have surmised from this letter that goes into great detail about the various new foods she has tried there. While I was the one to suggest she embark upon this trip alone, I have come to rethink my decision. If this letter is any indication, she needs a mentor to guide her in her studies in Kagane. Someone to keep her from becoming distracted from her goals. I would like for you to be that person. To ensure she accomplishes what I sent her there to do, I would have the two of you search out local residents who appear to be in trouble, or who appear to be troubled. Employing your carpentry skills, you are to find a way to solve their problems. Thank you, child. It's good to know that I can always rely on you. I imagine there are a number of things you need tend to before you leave, so I will say my farewells to you here. Till you return, then. To Kugane. Where is she? Of course she's in there. What is this place called again? Ah, the Shiokaze Hostelry. How could I forget? Hello. Lynn, 'tis a true miracle that our paths would converge so soon, and here of all places. I certainly hope you've been enjoying this splendid city as much as I am. I've only just arrived, but find I'm already completely enamored with its people, foods, and customs. Everything here is so different, so unique. Something which can no doubt be attributed to Kagane's extended isolation from the rest of the world. Take, for example, the delicate motifs that recur in much of their work. You would never be able to find this in Eorzea. Ah, forgive me. Surely you didn't come all this way to listen to my musings on such things. Though, why exactly have you come here again? For me, you say? This is fantastic. Together we're sure to have a grand time touring the area and taking in the sights. So, Timbermaster Beaton would have us search for troubled citizens and fix their problems with our saws and hammers. What a brilliant idea. Not only will this help me improve my skills, it will also afford me the perfect opportunity to establish my reputation as a carpenter. We haven't a moment to waste. Let us scour the streets and see if anyone is in need of our assistance. I feel like also now that like the graphics update happened, just being closer to your character makes the game look better. Because you can now see all the actual like small details that were kind of jank before. Which is pretty dang cool. I played through the entirety of like the Dawn Trail MSQ like this, and it was just glorious, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. Lynn, thank the matron you're here. I found someone in need of our services. There's just one teensy problem. Why is it no one will ever listen to what I have to say? She approached me, asking if anything was wrong, so I thought that this time it would be different. As soon as I began talking, however, she sat down and began banging her tools together. Please, I cannot take this anymore. Madam, I need your help. Your help. I'm just so fed up with the way I look, with this lank hair and these plain features. I melt right into the crowd. No one ever remembers who I am. After this, even you will probably forget me. My confidence dwindles by the day. It is to a point where I must summon every ounce of courage to even speak to someone. I'm so sorry, I had no idea you felt that way. Mother was right. I need to learn to listen instead of jumping to my own conclusions. Don't you worry, madam. You will find an answer to your problems. Now please, if you would, allow me to escort you to the Shukaze hostelry, where you might wait while you figure out how to go about this. Lynn, in the meantime, can you go and interview some of the Mujikoza actors? Surely they'll know best how to gain people's attention and have more confidence. One who feels overlooked and is not confident in her own skin? Tisk tisk. That simply will not do! Perhaps your friend should try using cosmetics. Changing your external appearance often has the added benefit of transforming how you feel about yourself and how the world perceives you. Take us, for example. We are an aggressive, burly bunch. With a dash of eyeshadow and a bit of blush, however, even we will turn into a gaggle of girls before your very eyes. When you think we are girls, we become girls. Simple as that. Confidence? You ask me if ways to gain confidence? The best way to do that would be to improve yourself, whether that be from the inside or the outside in. Have I ever been ignored by an audience? Of course I have. When that happens, you pack a bit more powder into your face and spruce up your costume. You'll find yourself standing a little straighter, talking a little louder, and moving a little bolder. And that's when you are sure to steal the show. God, I hate that this is over here. I keep clicking on it. She done. Lynn, thank the gods you finally returned. Please, please, please tell me you've thought of something. What can we make to help our friend raise her self-esteem and be noticed? A fine spear. No. Lavish dressing. Case of filled with power and... yeah. A dazzling lamp to attract the attention of all passerby. No. A cosmetics box. A wonderful solution. Cosmetics will allow her to enhance her features so she might stand out from the crowd. When people begin paying her more attention, she will be sure to regain lost confidence. While you were away, I took the initiative to gather some materials. Here, have a look and take what you require. Everything we spent will be reimbursed by the guild, so don't feel the need to hold back. Yes, finally you can fucking... oh, I love this. I love these crafting quests. It's just, ah yes, here is your material. Now just make it. And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Class quests. There we go. And since I'm overleveled, I can just do this. Easy peasy. Do you truly think there is hope for me? A dressing case of oriental design, featuring a large mirror of polished metal and countless compartments for jewelry and sundry maculage? That's a word that I've never seen before. That is a huge box! A dressing case. It is incredibly beautiful, but I fail to see how it will help me. So you're saying altering my look will change the way I feel about myself and how people react to me? It's certainly worth a try. Wallowing in self-pity as I have done until now will fix nothing. This box, however, might. May I have a look? Whoa. It's so beautiful, everything, down to the last detail, has been crafted with such delicate precision. It's no wonder Timbermaster Beaton holds you in such high regards. Even with the years of practice, I doubt I'd be able to craft anything so splendid. Madam, please accept my sincerest apologies for the earlier distress I caused you. I should have been more considerate of your feelings. No, it is I who must apologize. If only I had the strength to convey my thoughts and trust in my own voice, none of this would have been an issue. Besides, I dare say that meeting the two of you may well be a turning point in my life. From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank you for your help. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors. Come to think of it, I don't think you can actually get, like... It's not a kimono, I think that is the other thing. Fuck, I don't know, anyway. God, words lit a fire within me, unlike anything I've ever felt before. Would have been nothing but a hindrance thus far. I promise I won't be for much longer. A yukata, there we go. That's the thing I was looking for. Or I could still be wrong too, I don't know much about it, so... Thank you, Lynn. Without you, I think that lady might never have found a way to conquer that which has been holding her back. Do you think there will ever come a day when I'll be able to address the client's problems with the same swiftness that you do? Oh, but what am I saying? With a little practice and effort, nothing is impossible. There's much for me to learn, and it is time I take full advantage of all the Far East has to offer. Together, let us refine our skills and convene once more when we have gotten them to a level we are satisfied with. Give me your money. Ah, Lynn, you're here. Since we last met, I've been working day and night to improve my shortcomings as a carpenter. I'm leaps and bounds from where I once was. Until now, I've been undependable. I promise you, however, that from this moment forward, you'll be seeing an entirely new side of me. To prove to you just how much I've changed, I took the initiative and found us a new client. Her name is Ume, and she runs the local tea house. I've even finished crafting the items she requested of us. Are you impressed yet? Well, there's more. I'm scheduled to deliver it to her at her shop. You'll come with me, won't you? After all, my first successful business transaction is something you'll not want to miss. I'm starting to remember this quest, I think. What do you mean you can't use this? I took special care to listen to every word you said. This is exactly what you asked for. This charming little sign is certain to attract droves of customers. Exactly what I asked for? It's a far cry from it. I told you I wanted something which would help me establish a base of regular patrons. This is an advertisement aimed at the general public, the precise opposite of what I need. Even if I had requested this ridiculous sign, what makes you think it would do anything to convince customers to come here? The writing on it is illegible. You can scarcely make out the name of my shop. Oh dear. Lynn, help. Ah, you brought a friend. You look like you have a good head on your shoulders. Perhaps you'll be able to help me? Excellent. While I cannot quite place my finger on it, I suspect my tea house lacks something in the way of ambience. I would like for you to figure out what exactly that something might be and make me furnishings or accessories to improve it. If you find yourself short on ideas, you might speak with some of my customers. I'm happy you can ask them for their opinion on what would enhance their experience here. As it seems I'm no longer needed here, I shall return to the Shirakaze Passery and ready some materials for you. Once you decide what it is you want to craft, come look for me and I shall provide you with what you need. How would I go about improving this place? While I have no complaints about the tea or food, it would be nice if they had books or a place to smoke to help pass the time. Apologies, but I was just on my way out. If only this place were more willing to accommodate smokers, I would be that much more inclined to stay. This is interesting. For all the good food and drink, I'd still like warmth, sorry. Would have come here twice as often if they had a corner where I could sit back, relax, and have a smoke after a long day. They're all just smokers. Alright then. Lynn, I know not how to apologize to you. Seems the harder I try, the more work I create for you. If only I could figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong. I thought my problem was listening, so I made sure to take note of every word that came from our client's mouth. But it made no difference in the end. But I digress. Now's not the time to be dwelling on my failure. Let us concentrate on fulfilling the tea shop proprietor's request. Do you have any ideas on what we can make to satisfy him? Nice onsen. Cudgel with which he can defend her establishment. A pie box so people can have a smoke and unwind. That's it. I've noticed many men and women in Kugane do indulge on occasion. Setting a pipe box in the area is a perfect way to invite them to have a leisurely smoke after they finish their tea. It's certain to keep them coming back. Now, let us set about making it. You'll be needing this. Maybe some of that, and of course this here. That should be everything. I think the tea house owner is quite eager to receive her delivery. If you could finish the pie box and see that it gets delivered to her quickly, it'd be greatly appreciated. A stylish pipe box. A stylish pipe bomb. Ooh. The key to running a successful business is cultivating a loyal clientele. I need you to assist me in doing just that. A pie box of oriental design, completed with an ashtray and compartments for several varieties of tobacco. A pie box, you say? Ah, but of course, why didn't I think of that? Most of my customers smoke. Inviting them to do so here, after they finish their sweets and tea, will no doubt encourage them to stop by more regularly. Do you see now, little lady? This is what I was asking for. Oh yes, it is crystal clear now. Lynn is a master carpenter, and in contrast I am nothing but a miserable failure. Might I take a look at that? Great gods, the timber master Beaton, what are you doing here? I felt the call of wood and followed it here. Yes. Intricate metal inlay coupled with a finely polished wooden exterior leads me to believe that this is your work, Lynn. You have quite the sense of humor, Giles. My dear lady, it seems my protege here has seen fit to furnish you with a pipe box in the truest sense of the word. What, pray tell, do you mean? A pipe box holds ash, and this particular one is made of ash lumber. Mayhap, however, you would need to be a carpenter to fully appreciate the joke. Mayhap indeed. All jesting aside, I would like to thank you for this magnificent gift. I cannot wait to see the reaction it will elicit from my guests. Sammy, from what I understand, Lynn made a pipe box at the request of a client. Tell me, why is it that you also did not craft one? I'm sorry, sir. I've been giving it my all. Really I have, but the sad truth is that nothing I make is good enough to satisfy anyone. That's why I thought it best for me to stick to simply gathering materials. It is always a struggle in the beginning, but that is no excuse to quit. Failure builds character. Character which will allow you grow as a craftsman. This guy speaks in a weird way, if I remember. It feels like that. It's either that or I'm just unable to read, which could also be the case. While it may not feel like it, you have grown a great deal during your sojourn here in Kugane. However, it is time you packed your bags. You are to journey to Yangsha next, to the lands beyond the Ruby Sea. Yes, sir. I shall make ready to depart straightways. Then I will be going ahead of you, but worry not, once I arrive, I shall send you a letter telling you where we can meet. Sammy, before you go, allow me to say this. You have a firm grasp of all the basics and sharp intuition besides. There is, however, one thing that is holding you back. You strive solely for perfection. Remember, your purpose is not to create something flawless, but something authentic, something unique that will be cherished for years and years to come. How exciting is this? I'm going to Yangsha. Don't you fret, Lin. Like I mentioned earlier, once I have settled in, I shall send a letter to you by way of Kotokaze. This time, I have every intention of living up to Timbermaster Beaton's expectations. Why, I dare say, we shall even be returning from our journey there with a tale or two on how I charmed my way into the locals' hearts with my carpentry skills. Till we meet again in Yangsha. So we learn manipulation. Did we learn something else from the earlier quest? That's weird. I feel like I had this before. I'm going insane. Stop thinking. Just keep playing. Ah, Lin, a letter from Semi has just arrived for you. Dear Lin, I am writing to tell you that I have arrived in a tiny village in Yangshan known as Namai. Such a delightful place. Every day I stumble across something new, whether it be the unusual materials they employ in their construction or the unfamiliar but delicious foods. Oh yes, the food here is exquisite and their desserts are even better. In fact, the sugar-coated dumplings they have are simply to die for. I'll be sure to treat you to some when you come. See you soon. Yours truly, Semi. Alright. To the Mai. Live and let dine. Live and let dine. What the dog doing? Then how wonderful it is to see you again. It's been far too long. Have you tried any of the local cuisine yet? If you haven't, I know the perfect place for us to start. I was planning to take you there purely to discuss business, I swear. After all, where better to do that than over food? Yeah. Alright. Your disapproval has been duly noted. Instead of going for food, let us search out any people who might be in need of our assistance then. Excuse me, that was a trade. Help! Yes, I could use some of that. You see, in the days before the Empire held dominion over our lands, I was a chef. While our freedom from them is fleeting, I would nevertheless like to use this opportunity to once again pursue my passion for cooking. As such, I have been thinking to open up my own restaurant. To do so, I would need to procure basic furnishings for my future shop. It is not a simple task. Most of what I have come across is either far too expensive or of poor quality. And you may be pleased to hear, sir, that before you stand two highly skilled members of the Carpenters Guild in Gridania. We shall see that you receive the furniture you require. You would do this for me? Most certainly. What kind of furnishings do you need? Apart from tables and chairs, I need something that would allow my guests to feel at ease. Those from the Enclave have different dining habits to those of us here in Amai. I would like to create an environment where both would feel equally welcome. Please leave it to us, sir. Now, Lin, what do you say to making things a tad more interesting? Let's turn this into a competition. We will each make something for a client and present the finished product to him. He will then judge them and decide on a winner. Pretty please, won't you do it for me? This is the only way I can show Timbermaster Beaton I'm just as skilled as all the other carpenters in the guild. Ha, it's settled then. Go about making the furniture however you will, but I recommend you speak with the people here before getting started. Some have lived their entire lives, others once lived in... Some have lived... fuck, man. Have lived here their entire lives. Others have lived in the Enclave. With their help, you may better understand these subtle differences in our ways. Thank you, sir. We'll be sure to do just that. Lynn, once you've decided what you will be making, come and find me. I'll furnish you with any materials you might need. Oh, my camera just got very weird. I like how I pressed my button to look for trees to harvest for some reason. The only difference is that table manners are practically non-existent out here. And people have good hearts, but they also have no sense of etiquette. They will eat their food on the streets and sip their tea in front of you. One should take their meals behind closed doors with family or friends. It would be nice if they would at least eat behind a partition of some sort and spare the rest of us the sight. Sheesh. I would say that the people from the Enclave are more elegant than us. I've never seen one with their hair out of place or in clothes that have not been neatly pressed. They place great importance on rules, manners, and fashion over there. Where is it? Oh, there you are. Yes, I suppose you could say that I'm from the Enclave, though I've lived here for most of my life. When I was young, my family and I fled to this village so we might escape Imperial troops. What? You would like for me to demonstrate the difference in dining habits? I'm afraid that is not something I can help you with. Ah, Lynn, have you finally decided on what you'll be making? I'll be building the entire restaurant from the ground up! Wooden shield to protect the food from, well, you know. Ornate partitions that can be hung between each of the tables. Partitions? But that seems so dull. It's not what you're really thinking to make, is it? Wait, you're not trying to lose on purpose, are you? While I know I'm not as good as you, never did I think you saw me as so far beneath you that you would feel the need to do this. My apologies, it seems I jumped to conclusions again. I know you're not the type of person to do something like that. It's no excuse, but lately I've been on edge. I can't shake the feeling this is my last chance to convince Timbermaster Beaton that I'm a capable carpenter, worthy of being called as such. If I don't, he might stop assigning me work, and I may as well leave the guild. I shall not let it come to that. No matter what it takes, I must find a way to prove myself. Oh, I completely forgot. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blabber on about my worries. After all, you're here for materials, aren't you? Here you are. Feel free to come back if it's not enough. Vanish into dark. Not enough. Pring. I'm not gonna run up there. I'm going to fly on my giant elephant that obscures most of my freaking camera because I'm zoomed in. Opening up a restaurant has always been a dream of mine. To think that it might soon be within my grasp fills me with joy beyond belief. An exquisitely crafted partition of traditional German design. Yes. What have we here? May I? Timbermaster Beaton. This table is exquisite. It is extremely sturdy, yet manages to maintain a sleek elegance. And these Dogen-style engravings that run up and down the sides of the legs. If I did not know better, I would guess they were the work of a more practiced pair of hands than your own, Timmy. Now, Lynn, let us see yours. Ah, simple, but all the more stunning for it. The lacquer finish is a nice touch. A light gloss that is just enough to enhance the natural blush of the wood, but not overpowered. While both of these are masterpieces in their own right, I will say this: the detailed engravings on the table are something even a highly skilled artisan would struggle to recreate. What do you think, sir? The moment I saw it, I knew which one of these I wanted desperately need it, even. I choose. This one. Lynn is a better carpenter than me, I won't deny. That she has skill I could only ever dream of attaining, I'll also admit, but I poured my heart and soul into that table. Sir, why is it that you chose Lynn's partition over Simi's table? Simple, really. Doman city folk are a private sort. They'd appreciate the way these wooden barriers hide them from sight as they eat. The young lady's table is magnificent, a work of art even. However, it does not fulfill the needs of my customers like these partitions do. Since the time it took to carve the intricate detailing on this table would have been better spent interviewing the local citizens. Semi, do you understand now why it is that you lost? You were so focused on demonstrating your own skill that you disregarded the needs of the client. Lynn, on the other hand, spoke with the residents of this village, which inspired her to create these partitions, a product that places the customer's needs above all else. In that sense, the difference between your table and a partition is the difference between a decent carpenter and a master of the craft. That said, this is where your journey ends. Expect to see both of you back in Gridania shortly after I return. No, it can't be. Please tell me Timbermaster Beaton hasn't given up on me. What am I to do? Is your friend alright? Well, I cannot claim to understand what any of that was about. I would like to thank you. Wow, that's been a while since I did that. Thank you for your wonderful contribution. It is sure to suit my restaurant perfectly. Master Beaton. Master Beaton's gonna beat the living shit out of you. These people are still here. They've been here the entire time that I've been here. That's funny. To Master Beaton, thank the matron you've returned. The drawers of this desk you made for me are broken. Is there a chance they can be fixed? I shall see what can be done. After all, I can hardly say no to someone who has so cherished one of my creations as you have. Timbermaster Beaton, sir, my son, he's just been accepted into the Order Twin Adder. To celebrate, I'd like for you to craft him a fine spear. Order of the Twin Adder? That is quite the accomplishment. Very well. I shall make him a one that will see him through all his battles. No, wait, sir, come back. I also had a quest for him, but I suppose it'll have to wait. Should have known getting the finest carpenter in all of Gridania to make something for you wasn't going to be an easy task. Excuse me, if you don't mind my asking, why is it that all of you like Timbermaster Beaton so much? When you ask him to make something, he creates that item for you, and you alone. To make something for that person and that person alone. Thinking back, that's how I first got into carpentry. I was born into a family poorer than dirt, one where we couldn't afford to purchase even the most basic of furniture. My mother raised us by herself, working from dawn until dusk, so that my sister and I wouldn't go to bed hungry every night. As a result, she pushed herself too hard, and one day the pain in her back became too much to bear. Seeing her suffering drove me to make her an armchair in which she could rest from time to time. It was all the young me could think to do. While the finished product creaked and buckled under her weight, not for a single moment as I was making it did I lose sight of the fact that I was doing it all for her. I was so preoccupied with myself, with trying to prove my skills, that somewhere along the way I forgot the most important thing. It is never too late to remember and begin anew. Semi, the key to harnessing your potential is to recognize what is holding you back. From here, you can only grow. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. There's still hope for me. Lynn, thank you for supporting me until now. It's only because of you that I've come this far. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that our grand adventures together have made me feel, yes, as though I've been born again. I'm looking forward to exploring the world of carpentry once more. She's not the only one who owes you a debt of gratitude. While I am skilled at working with wood, I am not nearly so adept at dealing with people and their problems. You have helped Semi in ways I could not. You're part of the reason I have such high hopes for the girl. With a mentor like you to look up to, she will no doubt flourish. That is why I ask that you speak with her one last time before you leave. Lynn, you'll be happy to hear that Timbermaster Beaton has finally deemed my work good enough to begin taking on some of my own clients. Isn't it so exciting? That's not to say I'll forget about my studies or the guild's troubles, however. In between commissions, I'll be spending my time practicing how to make oriental furniture. That way I can retain all that I learned from our trips to Kagana and Amai. But that's not all. I'll be keeping the people we met there in mind. They'll help me remember that I'm making this furniture not for myself, but for those around me. You'll see, Lynn, I'm going to work so hard that one day I'll be as good as you. Sure. Lynn, there you are. I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up. The Timbermaster Beaton says he has some clients he wants to introduce to us. Well, don't just stand there. Let's go. Forward and back, and a forward and back. You're here. Good. Gerhardt, you remember, Lynn? Remember? Could hardly forget. It would be no exaggeration to say that I owe this woman my life. In fact, the reason I'm here is related to the time Lynn saved us. By the bow she brought. I was able to drive the ffXIV forces that threatened us. Our victory against them has bolstered our unit's reputation, and we have been receiving new recruits about a dozen since. In our latest batch, we received a mixture of eager Alamegans and Gudarians. If you do not yet see the problem, allow me to explain. There have always been certain racial tensions between the refugees and locals. I thought holding a tea party might ease the unease between them. I was wrong. They seem to have an even greater aversion to one another. There you have it. I suggest you begin by speaking with Gerhardt's recruits to see what exactly went wrong. If you can pinpoint the cause of their feud, it will make it that much easier for us to solve the problem. Yes, sir. You can count on me. Lynn, would you mind accompanying Semi? Mind you, this is an official request. It would not do to send someone who is yet to complete basic training to carry out this task alone. So it'll be the two of you then. Good. Now imagine most of my new recruits will be at and around the Azur's Nest. You should have no trouble finding them. Once you're finished, see that you report back to me. Yes, sir. They're not. If you're here to talk about with the captain, you're here to speak with me. Why don't we like them? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Every time we try to reach out to them, how are we repaid? With hostility. Take a tea party Captain Gerhardt arranged for us, for example. We attended hoping to turn over a new leaf. They, however, clearly came for different reasons, entirely because the moment we sat down, they served us Alamegan tea. Since they have gone from refusing to accept our culture to openly spurning it. My apologies, but I would like to leave it at that. Lest anger get the best of me. If you wish to know more, however, perhaps you should try speaking with one of the Alamegan recruits. I guess we're gonna go this way. Watch your profanity. For a second I was like, what in the heck is this quest? Right, I've also got Pictomancer now on the map. Fucking hell, man. What are you looking at? Is there something you need? If not, I suggest you move along. Those questions sound an awful lot like the ones Captain Gerhardt asked us yesterday. Is he the one that put you up to this? Every day we Alamegans bleed and fight and die to protect this country. And yet the Gridanians still regard us with the same suspicion and resentment that they do beastmen. Even so, we decided that the tea party Captain Gerhardt arranged was a good chance for us to establish some common ground with them, and find a way to lay aside some of our differences. We thought serving Alamegan tea would be a good way to break the ice, but no, our kind gesture was met only with disdainful stares. Well, no longer will we be made to feel worthless by the Gridanians. From now on, we'll have nothing to do with them. So, Gridania doesn't really care about the culture of... Okay. I see how it is. Classic Gridania. In all fairness, yes. Gridania is very strict. I see I've spoken with some of Gerhardt's newest recruits. Do you have any ideas on how we might put an end to the feud? That's striking, that a Far Eastern style matching set of furniture should bring them together. Since everything has been Far Eastern, we may as well do this, because then nobody will know. Like, then it's like not a specific culture. Far Eastern themed tea party. That just might work. No one would feel as though they are being snubbed, and the interesting setting might even provide them with a topic of conversation. You recall the tea house benches of Kagane, do you not? Very good. I suggest you craft one. I like how like these types of quests are so chill to me that I'm like almost falling asleep while doing them, while reading out loud. Success is only possible if each of the members of the squad completely trust one another. A folding bench, commonly found in Far Eastern tea houses, complete with a paper parasol to shield tea drinkers from the elements. What's this? I've never seen anything like it. You're looking at a tea house bench, the quality and make of which is identical to those crafted by the master carpenters of the Far East. Now, Semi, what have you made for us? She's there. Allow me to present to you with this. Or allow me to present to you with this. And are these typos, or am I going insane? This is the exact same thing as Lynn crafted. What led you to decide upon a tea house bench? After speaking with the initiates, I surmised that both sides had attended a tea party hoping to reconcile their differences. Given the right environment, I reckon they still can. So I thought, why not hold a Far Eastern style tea party? Not only would it provide them with a relaxed atmosphere, but it would give them a chance to bond over a culture that is different from their own. That you have begun taking the needs of the clients into consideration, and in doing so, came to the same conclusion as Lynn, is evidence that you have matured as a carpenter. Well done. Now it is time to put your benches to the test. I would have the two of you take them to Upkalu Falls and set them up. Gerhardt, gather your subordinates, and Lynn and Semi there. I will join you all shortly. Sorry. Very well. The sentences are confusing me sometimes, which is really weird. But it could be because I'm just tired of shit for some reason, suddenly. I only just I don't just remember, like, Upkalu Falls, I know that place. Where is that again? And then I teleport to this map and I'm like, oh no. Of all the stinking places, mate. Oh well. Welcome, everyone. Well, I know our last tea party was by no means a rising success. I appreciate how willing most of you were to give this idea a second thought, or a second chance. Seems some of you felt that certain cultures were disrespected at our last get-together. For that, I apologize. Regardless of where you are from, I value and respect every one of you, as you should each other. For we are brothers and sisters in arms, family, if you will. I hope that this gathering the craftsmen of the Carpenters Guild helped me organize will allow you to realize that. Now for the fun part. Dango. What do you think, everyone? Before you is an exact replica of a tea house in Kugane. Kugane, as in the far eastern port city? Well, I suppose these decorations do have a certain exotic charm. Kugane-style tea party, huh? Everything looks so elegant. These furnishings are almost as beautiful as those found here in Kugane. Carpentry is a culture, and culture is ever present in our lives. One can learn a great deal about a people simply by looking at their furniture. Sitting here upon these benches has made me realize there are many magnificent things in this vast world. In my narrow-mindedness, I nearly missed out on them. We should have taken the time to learn about each other. Right, to learn more about you and where you are from. We eat meals together, we fight together, and yet because of our reluctance to speak with you, we know almost nothing about you. For that we are sorry. No, it is we who must apologize. While many of us consider Gridania to be a second home, there is a lot about your culture that we have yet to fully grasp. They look so goofy with their quaffs. Let us raise our cups and give a toast to the start of a new and beautiful friendship. Oh, whoopsie. Pang, pang, dang, dang. It's interesting to see, like, semi-updated clothing and then, like, old clothing still. I don't know anymore, man. I see these things and I'm like, is that new or old? I'm pretty dang sure that this is old, though. This is not updated yet. Have you all been enjoying yourselves? Yes, it's been a long time since I talked this much or laughed so hard. I thought we had absolutely nothing in common, but I was a mistake. But I was a mistake! I was mistaken. You fool. I was a mistake all along. No. Indeed, the more we speak, the more I come to realize how alike we are. I'm glad we finally found a way to put our differences aside. Good. Remember, on the battlefield it matters not where you are from or where you were raised, only that you survive. For that, we will need to rely on each other. Never forget that. Well done, the both of you. While fulfilling the client's needs with great finesse is something I've come to expect of Lynn, you surprised me, Semi. That you had the same idea as one of our guild's best artisans proves you're one step closer to becoming a full-fledged carpenter. Do not, however, mistake that to mean the items the two of you crafted are of comparable quality. Even to the untrained eye, one is far superior to the other. Quality, however, is not everything. Your client has walked away feeling completely satisfied, and that is a tremendous accomplishment. Semi, if you continue to work hard, perhaps someday you will come to be as good as this talented woman beside you. Thank you, sir. I shall remember this moment and continue honing my skills, that they might one day rival Lynn's. I nearly forgot. If I may be so bold as to ask, sir, what is to become of our guild? Will we recover from death anytime soon? I beg your pardon? What debt? What debt? So long as we continue to receive commissions from the Order of the Twin Adder, we need not want for capital. But sir, if not for the guild, why were you working yourself so hard? You wouldn't even stop to take meals. Ah yes, I was temporarily overcome by a desperate need to reconnect with the wood. To achieve this, I began living as though a tree would, taking in only sunlight and water. I really need to stop jumping to conclusions. Oh, and Lynn, please allow me to thank you once again. While it was a misunderstanding on my part that led us to the Far East, I couldn't be happier with the result. I will be entirely grateful to you for seeing me through this journey and for all that you've taught me. Though this particular adventure may be over, I've no doubts you will embark upon another together in the near future. Until then, I shall continue to practice and practice some more. When you next see me, I may nearly be as good as you. Lynn, your ability to inspire people never fails to astound me. It is no small part thanks to you that Semi has grown as much as he has. I like how when he was moving around, his mohawk was just wiggling around. Your talent and the love you hold for your craft is a rarity even among the elite. I hope that you will continue to use both to serve men and women all across Eorzea. Complete. And of course it was going to take like an hour as I expected, in all fairness. This is nothing new, it tends to happen. Anyway, especially with the crafting stuff because, well, it's an entire quest line and just reading. It's just like an entire freaking quest line of reading. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Ladder, so we were playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're going to go and do the Blacksmith quest line. Goodbye.